Kembo Natatanzambi Yamazulu, Kim Fumu Kyakuisa, Beto Abu Banabetu, Beto Abu Matonda Masakijila for another opportunity, Tatanzambi, to talk to the people here today. We had a wonderful assembly for the Assembly of Isaiah Congo in the world. Now be careful, filled in for our brother Mikal Masa, Yaya, and he did a fantastic teaching. And Tatanzambi has asked me to get started on this series that I'm going to be doing. And he told me to make it into a series, so I will hopefully get our brother Yakubi in on this because we're getting ready to get into some times now of deception. And he wants the Banabetu to be aware of the things that we can expect. And I forgive the noise. People are here. So we're going to be discussing so we're going to talk about what's happening in the world today. We've now seen where a former president, quote unquote, has now said we're hoping that when we have encounters with aliens that they'll be friendly. We look forward to meeting with them, all these different things. So now, and of course, many Christians will say, well, yeah, we were aware of the alien deception. We know what they are, but they don't understand is that alien deception is also deceiving religion. Okay. So we're going to talk about the scripture. I'm going to start with Ephesians. Oh, first I want to give honor to all my Bantu brothers and sisters that are in this awakening, especially Pastor Mello, who brought me the knowledge of Simon Toko through our brother Issachar that I watched, as well as Yonati Chilombo, Masia Kadima, that was with us, Chibo Malongo, Mikia Masa, all the brothers, might be careful, of course, joined in, Makai and Zombie. The things that they have taught us, we may not always agree on things, but we know that we're all trying to head to the right goal. And this awakening is to become a unified nation once again. And I'm going to go into more detail. Now, be careful, us was talking about what it means to be children of light. Masa kind of went into that. I'm going to get out, she gives a noise. There's going to be a major deception coming. So we need to be aware of what dark forces. First of all, you need to understand, when I talked about the two kingdoms, kingdom of darkness and the kingdom of light, you need to understand that the kingdom of darkness is what you're going to be talking about when it comes to the aliens and the UFOs and all these different things. But what many believers don't understand is they have been worshiping these beings unawares. Okay, so we'll get into that as well. So once again, I'm going to bring up this scripture. It says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. So one of the things that's happening, and I'm going to actually give you an idea of what alien abductions are. Alien abductions, and I'm going to try to pull it up in the book of Genesis as well. Alien abductions is the process of taking those who are considered to be Gentiles or not of the Most High's people and causing them to create children through insemination of fallen angels or fallen beings, like the days of Noah. But because the system that we live in now is so deceptive, even through Hollywood and all the things they're trying to tell you, that the way they introduced you to the fallen angels and the Nephilim and all the different beings that were not quite talked about in depth in the scriptures is through Hollywood UFOs and all this stuff. Okay, so you're going to see here where it talks about several slow flickering UFOs in the sky over Bloomington, Minnesota, 29th of May to 2021. Okay. Filmmaker claims newly disclosed radar footage shows mysterious objects swarming Navy ship, June 4th. Explanations for UFO transition from extraordinary to increasingly plausible. UFOs maneuvers over Quito, Ecuador, May 2021. UFO activity over Stockholm, etc., etc. Okay. What are the UFOs? Okay. UFOs are essentially these beings you see here, deities affiliated with ancient Babylon. Again, excuse the noise. Reptilian type beings who are actually demonic beings. Okay. We have the Sumerian Anunnaki. It talks about the sons of Anak in the book of Exodus. All these different things. So we have all these different types of beings. They to show you, okay, they are just like, this is how they can look just like us. This is the Epic of Gilgamesh, which is really Nimrod. Okay. These are the children of connected to Shaitani and all the other fallen angels. See that they're also black. This is why people think, oh yeah, they made us because we're black and these are black beings. No, everybody was black people, even the Tanzambi. There were albino angels as well, but this is basically what we're talking about when, man, excuse me. UFO beings, they fly these flying saucers. They brought technology in ancient days. I'm going to go into, this is the wisdom. You see the two snakes. This is the symbol of the ibis or the stork god, Pharmakia. See, it says the pantheon of Adonam. This is in what we call Atlantis. This is what they was used by these beings. They call them the Nephilim giants, or what do you want to call them, to modify the creation of the Most High. This right here gives you an idea. This is what I was telling people about, how we actually had to fight against those beings to defend the ark. They're even showing you in this picture where this is the Maliki who was used to guard over the ark because they were still wicked beings trying to destroy it, and animals and whatnot that came during that time that they tried to hide it in the movie Noah. Okay. So why is it significant? Because now we are in the days, the definite end times, the days of Noah, the situation where you're going to start to see these beings reproduce themselves. When the veil is lifted, you're going to start seeing creatures that are not human, that resemble human beings. And of course, this is the image of the one they call the fallen angel himself, Lucifer. Okay. Understand this entity can mimic, and we talked about this earlier, we are to mimic the Most High to become children of light. But Satan also mimics the Most High to pretend that his kingdom of darkness is like the kingdom of light. Okay. So this is very important to comprehend, that in this world, we're dealing with beings that are flesh and blood, that are not flesh and blood. So when he's talking about in this scripture where it says, for we do not battle with beings. He says right here, he says, for we wrestle, that's why put on the full army of Tatanzambi, that ye may able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Okay. The wiles of the devil is the UFO agenda. The wiles of the devil is the system that is running the world right now that people believe is a legitimate system, but it's not, but it's a kingdom of darkness. This is why what we see in this kingdom cannot produce light to where people can actually see the Most High revealed. When I say light, light is more than just doing good deeds. Many Christians believe that light is about, oh, well, I show God's grace by doing all these good things for people, blah, blah, blah. No, light, as our brother Nabi Kephas pointed out with Moses, Masi when he came off the mount, is the light of the Most High coming through your skin to where you resemble someone with power. Okay, that it irradiates, it irradiates your body. The light comes through you to where you will look like a godly like figure. Hence, that is what Kusfa looked like. That is what Masa looked like. This is what people who demonstrated the power of Tatanzambi looked like, like a Maliki. Okay. So here's what we got to understand. Let's go back up to the top. It says here, children, obey your parents in, now it says the Lord, and I'm going to go to where that should be, why this should be Tatanzambi or your Congo, for this is right. Now it says here, in the Most High. Let me be clear. Your parents must be in the Most High. This is why, yes, we grew up with parents and we listen to what they have to say. But if they're not training up a child the way they should go, okay, and they're bringing you to a deception that they don't even understand, this is what the Most High says by creating a stumbling block for his children. This is how they did this. Because the only part you say is to say, obey your mother and father. But what must your mother and father also must be doing is they must also be bringing you into the light. Okay. Sadly, this is something that is very deceptive when it comes to this world today that many people don't realize. They're not actually bringing their children into the light, but into the darkness, because they're not able to see the kingdom that resides in front of them, that it is a kingdom of darkness pretending to be light. Because if you were truly in the kingdom of light, they would see it. You would be like when my brother talked about Toko working in the lighthouse. You would be, when you see this person, they would astonish you just by the way they are and they look. Okay. You would radiate the power. This is why fasting and praying is so important, because many people don't understand, for the light to shine through, as my brother Keith was talking about, you must be in the Most High. So let's go to the word Lord, because Lord is affiliated with this, as I just showed you. This is affiliated with this group of people. You see the two snakes right here? This is the same. What did I do with him? When I showed you the tablet and the stork, that's him right here. These people put on animal heads and become your, they put on animal heads and they become your Egyptian gods. Okay. And when I have my brother on here to do the next series of this, he's going to give you an understanding of what that actually looks like. So in the kingdom of Nimrod, they look like this. to him. Okay. Okay. This is what they look like. But like the Most High said, just because that's why he keeps saying, just because it's black doesn't mean it's righteous. Okay. This is pharmakia right here. This is the person who made the vaccine. Okay. This deity here is affiliated with Lucifer. Yes, Lucifer can be black, a black man, which is why I kept saying, just because you say the Messiah is black, that doesn't mean you're talking about the real Messiah. God is black. Yeah, they can look this way too. This is why you have to have a discernment of spirits. Okay. That Tatanzam, they have afros just like he does, because they are fallen angels were also black. Okay. This is the deception of many people don't get. This is how they can trick us into believing that they were who they were. And of course, they became affiliated with, let's see, where are they? So, so like in the case where we're talking about Lilith, who was Adam's first wife, okay, this would be, when I go to his, this is what you're dealing with right here. Spirit and this. These are also going to be your, this deity right here. Call this deity Mamiwata, which is actually also called Calypso, which is also known as Ishtar or Lilith spirit. Okay. And of course, I hope my brother he'll go with you. And he'll talk about that. All right. So why is this significant? Because the Bantu truth is going to show you that in order to be considered the true people of the Most High, this is your lineage, Benakongo, Yakuba, because there is missing in Saka, it was in Saka, Yuseka, Abana, and Saka, Yakuba, or Yakubi. Okay, this is important because these entities, this is our lineage. This is why we say, just because you come from Shem, okay, let's go to that bloodline. That doesn't make you Bantu, or Banabetu, or Yisolele. Okay, let's go to, this is why we keep saying, you balance the flesh and blood. This is why it's Yakongo. But Yakongo's name has been hidden because all of these people all of these deities are afraid of him. That's why they don't like you keep saying the name. Or when you say it, they want the C and the K make a difference. Okay. Okay. Start before we go to that. Let me get into this again. Honor thy fire, that it may be well with thee, that may live long on the earth. Now it says, honor thy father and mother, which is the first commandment. Honor. The problem with Bantu spirituality is honor. Okay, is obey has a different connotation, because we know that not everybody's mother and father lived according to what they should, but you should still honor them because they're your ancestry. Without them, you couldn't be here if you're in this awakening, even though you struggle with them. Okay, without them, without your ancestry, you could not be here. So you must still honor those and let the Most High deal with the sins of unrighteous, because we have all fallen short. Does that mean that it's hard not to face the things that they did to us if they did wicked things? Of course it is. But the Most High has gotten you through that for a reason, to where if you're out of it, if you have perished in it, okay, sadly, it's because they did not do their part to protect what they should, and the Most High will judge them for what they do, okay? But it's also because the Yisolele fell, Yakuba fell, so the world now suffers because we have not done our due diligence to be in our place. This is why we're saying the world cannot live in a kingdom of light when the kingdom, like Kanata said, Kefa said, when the people who are supposed to be from the light are living in the kingdom of darkness. Okay. Now it says here, and ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath, but bring them up in the nurture and admonition of the Most High, or Yakon, or Tatanzambi. Okay. What it means is, as a parent, it is your role to make sure that you are bringing your children to the light of the Most High and not bringing them away from them, because what that's going to make them is become angry and be upset with the fact that their life is not what it could be, because you as a parent did not do your job, your responsibility, according to how the Most High. Now this is when they really justified slavery right here, because it says, servants, be obedient to them that are your masters according to the flesh, with fear and trembling and singleness of your heart, as unto Christu. Okay. The problem with this is, okay, the servants, okay, is the problem with this is that they this is you're supposed to be acting like Messiah mentality as a servant. Okay. Which he says, I am not a king, I did not come to serve, be served, to serve, but to be served. Okay. So we're serving our those who are according to, because this is also according to Bantu understanding, is that you are giving respect to those who stand in a higher position. Okay. But the Most High says, I still will deal with those who treat you accordingly. It says that not with eye service or as men pleasers. See, here it is, not as with eye service. And this is where the slave master took advantage of this, because everything was about, the service was eye service, which means what he pleasured, or his pleasures, but as servants of Isaiah, of course, doing the will of Tatanzambi from the heart, with goodwill, doing service as the Most High and not to men. So your service is to Tatanzambi, not to men, not to Muntu. Okay. The Gentile nations distort this scripture when it comes to the Benanzambi. Okay. Because as Gentiles, and I'll get into that now, of course, this definition is a little off, but it says, the Gentile nations. So it said, what are Gentiles? It says a person who is not Jewish, which that word itself is a misnomer, because there's no, Jewish means you are not of the Jews, but you are like the Jews, which is mean that we are the Banabetu are the real Jews, and the other people are Jewish, like us, but not the same as us. So they copy us. So therefore, they're not. It can't be us. That's what that word really means. Now, this is where we talk about the word stems from the Hebrew term, which is the Kabiru, Ngoi Ngoi, which means a nation which is applied both to into other nations. So the plural goyim or goy, especially with the article, the nations meant nations of the world that were not of the Most High. So anybody who did not come from Abana, Yiseka, and Yakubi, but specifically Yakubi, cannot be the Most High's chosen people. Okay. So this is what we gave up and other nations have now taken over. And this is where Satan has deceived the whole world. So now, in this deception, what we're getting ready to face is this entity pretending to be an alien. His name is everywhere. And I'm going to get into Hosea where the Most High talked about. This is why he has to take the names out of his mouth, because it says Baal, it could be pronounced Baal or Baal. Properly, Baal was a title and honor meaning owner. So here's the thing. When you worship this deity, he's your owner. He is your master. Okay. This is what the secret societies have done in secret. And these beings come in the form of demons that now call themselves aliens or whatever you want to call them. Okay, but they are demonic beings. Okay, they are these people right here. These are the balls. And I'm going to get into that. Balaam. Okay. So now it says, now here's the thing. This is why we try to say Kikongo is part of this. Semitic is Kikongo. This is what they're saying is they knew our language. Kikongo is a Semitic language, Kinkongololo. In the Northwest, Semitic languages spoken in the Levant during antiquity. So this was Levant. So this is what they're calling Levant. Look at what is all included in this, which we know now it's more like down here. Because at this time, this is the deception. The world was one continent during this time frame, okay, and it split apart because of the worship of Nimrod. So, like it says, during antiquity, what is antiquity? Let's go. The early Near East, okay, they're going to say, of course, Mesopotamia, Iraq, Turkey, Iran, Syria, Kuwait, ancient Egypt, Elam, Media, Parthia, Persia, the Anatolia, Asia Minor, Armenian Highlands, Eastern Anatolia, okay, Southern Georgia, Azerbaijan, okay, Lebanon, so-called Israel, Palestine, okay. So you're dealing with, this is where our captivities were pretty much when we keep saying the Arabian Peninsula. The problem is that this broke apart. Okay, this is really Nimrod, his spirit. These are where you get the deities. When I did the video about where when the world was together, okay. This is one of the reasons why Masa says we call the Most High Yahweh and not Yahweh, because in Judaism they refer to Baal as Yahweh. They claim to be the same. Okay, they're not really the same because Judaism is deceived, but Yahweh or Yapowa is Tatanzambi is the Most High. Okay. There's all the names that he goes by. Okay, Hadad, El, see, House of El, like they did in Superman. Okay, that's why you say Elohim versus Elimo. Elohim and Elimo are not the same thing. That's the deception. That's why the Yiddish is going to get you. Baal Hammer. Okay, the word Baal is the same as this word. Same word, same meaning. It's also the same as this. So when you bail or you call bail, you have a form of bond or guarantee or warrant or pledge because you become the ward of the system. Technically, in this higher society type, they know you are part of the bail system. You are on security, you're on collateral to other nations because the United States is a corporation. You are collateral to other nations, you are bail. So when it says this, I remember we talked about the lewdness of the sight of the lovers. He says, I will visit upon her in the days of Balaam. Okay, let's go look at who is Balaam. This is why they're doing this, this now deceptive teaching. All right. So when we look at this, there's the golden calf. There's all of these images. That's why he says, do not give your children over to Baal, the Canaanite gods. And we're going to talk about when he told the Canaanite woman, you know not what you worship. See how they portrayed it in the movie Ghostbusters? Okay. Her resemblance is supposed to resemble Balaam. Okay, in the movie. This is what Hollywood worships. Okay. I gotta be careful to make sure I got my securities on because you never know, these things pop up some stuff nowadays. It's ridiculous. Of course, now they're gonna show you this is the top of the Vatican. And look what this person is saying. You are in Baal. This is the sun god. This is actually resembles the womb of Ishtar. Okay. The obelisk with the cross that stands in the middle resembles the Felix symbol. So they're putting it right in your face to show you that the Vatican is not does not represent the Most High or the Tatanzambi. This is all demonic symbolism in your face. So this is why they put pagan religions into your belief system, that the secret societies in all Christianity who now follow this, even though they may not know it or not, are connected. That's why we said this is why they went after Toko, because they're saying they're pagans. Now this is the deception. The demonic entities that they are affiliated with are going to be your aliens, UFOs, whatever, because the machinery they built allows them to still fly from being cut off from Tatanzambi. This is the technology. This is the book of Enoch that I read before that we're going to start to see. Okay, why is this significant? Because these beings blind you and keep you in the flesh, where it says, knowing that whatsoever good thing that any moon to doeth, the same shall receive of the Most High, whether he be bond or free. Okay? Sorry about the noise. And ye be masters, do the same things unto them, forbearing, threatening, knowing that your master also is in heaven. Neither is there respect of persons with them, with him. So it says right here, ye masters, do the same things unto them. So the way the relationship between what was supposed to happen between a servant and the master was supposed to be pleasing to the Most High. Of course, we didn't do that. And the many nations also don't do that either now, okay? That this is the biggest problem. It says, finally, my brethren, be strong in Tatanzambi in the power of his might, okay? So when it says that we wrestle against, not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against the powers, okay, that's these people, these beings, the principalities, okay? And also, as it talks about in when it says the spiritual wickedness in high places, this is what we're talking about. 1 second. What did I do with it? No. Where did I put it? Sorry. Semantical. So this is part of it right here. That's also part of it right here. What did I do? With, oh, they're down here, sorry. And this, okay, the Most High, Tanzambi, Yakongo, does not recognize not one of these people at all that they've made you to believe. None of these rabbis hold any respect whatsoever with Tatanzambi. He does not honor or recognize what they teach or what they do. So they fit this teaching right here, where he says, and wickedness, and against spiritual wickedness in high places. Because when you talk about these guys, these are, when I put up the word, I'll even show you. Okay, and we now know that Kabbalah as Yanata really means taking on of spirits. Okay, literally reception, tradition, or correspondence to what is an esoteric method, discipline, and school of thought in Jewish mysticism. So when you go and you put this, look at these people, this is what this is. This is the secret society or the alien connection. This is how they see themselves when it comes to their esoteric knowledge of being enlightened through numerology. So you'll see all the symbols, okay? This is what they affiliate with their various connections. And you'll see that the inner, if you look at the inner star, okay, here's your star of Moloch right here. And this goes to infinity. And it's all connected. And you'll even see the 5-pointed star within it. Okay. This is their teachings. Okay, here's your female. Now look at the other female with the horns over here. This is your trident symbol. This is your Masonic compass and square. Okay, all within this enlightened mindset. So these are the people that are running your world right now, that they go to what they call androgynous or esoteric. This is their esoteric knowledge. The Most High has his esoteric knowledge, which is his hidden knowledge. So here's where you get your symbols for male and female. Okay. So they use, so if you go, it comes from right here. This is ancient Babylonian symbolism, telling you that all religions go back to ancient Babylon. Here's what we're talking about. And this is what controls you. Okay. This is what they do, the mysticism. And this has nothing to do with the Most High whatsoever. Okay. So what they try to do with this is to use this system to control your brain and to believe in your reality. So when we talk about knowledge, okay, so we're going to go back into what talks about this. This is Balaam, this is Baal, this is all of these different things that we're talking about that the world has been attached to unknowingly, and the Most High is now exposing this. Okay, so it says here, and I will visit upon her the days of Balaam, wherein she burned incense to them, and she decked herself with earrings and her jewels, and went after the lovers and forgot to say it to Tatanzami. Okay, these are the lovers we went after. Right here. The other form they're in. Okay. Let's go. Who now look like this. Okay. And I hope my brother, when he comes on, because like I said, this is going to be a series. We're going to talk to people that talk about witchcraft and the things of that. See, now you see, they even made a movie. This is how they glorify themselves, the gods of Egypt. But of course, what did they do? People try to say they whitewashed everything, which is somewhat true. But this is also the way these gods are hiding themselves in this image. Shh. Sorry. Okay. So when you talk about your Kemetis or you're in the Kemeticism and they say, oh, it's black too. Okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that in the Kemeticism, you can see that with the Egyptian gods, okay, they still are following deities, false deities. Okay. And in many religions, this is your God right here. Okay. This is Horus, this is Ra, the sun god, Heru. Okay. And what this does is it brings about the understanding that this is what you're connected to. See, now in the back time, they were dark black gods. They modify themselves according to the culture that they adapt to. These are your aliens. These are going to be your Nephilim. This is your Anunnaki. This is your Greys and reptilians, because they can transform. They use magic to alter themselves. They appear to themselves in different cultures, or like Greece and Rome, and now even in America, their symbolism is everywhere. It's now become hidden, so that the world doesn't see the connection, that they've replaced the Most High with these beings, but they cut the S off. Okay. This is why they can look like the Banabetu, or we look like them. Okay. But in order so that people won't learn that, these guys, these people rewrote history. Again, sorry for the noise. Okay. These gentlemen changed history. So when you go and get your knowledge from your schools, from your medical facilities, you get your knowledge from all these different things. These are the people behind it. Okay. They behind the military, behind the Vatican, everything. Okay, they are connected. We talk about, and they can, of course, Islam's incorporated because, like we talked about, how they just changed the hats. This is what the Most High is getting ready to expose, and this is what they're fighting against. These people right here have already begun the war against the Lamb, against Symbolism. But they're not going to tell you that. They're the ones calling the Most High climate change. They know who climate change is. This is coming from them. Okay. And that's what's happening. So now they know that this is the image of us, but they're teaching you that these are the people, but these are children of Japheth, and they're not really quote unquote white people, but modified black people. And they know this. They're cursed generations of removed melanin modifications. Okay. And they know this. But they teach a different understanding. And sometimes they'll even say, yeah, they'll even teach that they had different children that were black, that were Jews. I'm like, come on. And they're also the ones who are incorporated with us that helped to destroy Yesiah, that helped to destroy us, that taught us the Pharisees, the scribes, and incorporated with them. Okay, when the Khazars were involved, these are your historically Hittite connected people. All right. So now let's talk about this scripture right here, where he says, so these are the people that have you dancing in the club, that control the rap industry, they control the gospel industry, they control the churches. You may not even know this, but the tithes and offering also goes to Israel. Okay, the tithes and offering go to the Vatican when all the popes are Ashkenazi Jew connection. Many of your pastors in evangelical churches are also Ashkenazi Jews. Okay. So he says, for I will take away the names of Balaam out of her mouth, and they shall no more be remembered by their name. So let's see if it'll tell us what the names, and let's see, most Christians don't even know this, the names of Balaam. I forgot my F is messing up. What are the names of Balaam? Let's see if it'll even tell me. So I'm going to say we go back to this again, where it talks about the different names, all these different names of him, but also the names. And see, in other translations, like I know in my Hebrew is in my Hallelujah scriptures, it'll say the balls. Okay, again, I've done a video talked about these are the balls. Okay. They can resemble both male and female. That's why they do the androgynous stuff that you see going on. This is why in in Hollywood and stuff, you're seeing people, actors who are both male and female. Okay, a big deal. This is the teachings of this. So if you look at this image, you'll see the symbol. All right, so you see this symbol right here, okay, is the same as this that he's holding in his hand. Okay, this is the goat god, which is affiliated with lust and every type of unwanted of the 7 deadly sins. Okay, you see the torch that they really went into on top of the head. Okay, sitting on top of the world. You see that? Sitting on top of a globe. Mindset. Showing you who sits, like I said right here, who sits on top of this world. Whose kingdom do we exist in right now? Is his. That's why Isaiah said, "This is not my kingdom. For this is my kingdom, you wouldn't be able to touch me." And in order for us not to be touched as Banabetu, to be the children of light, okay, like we had in our teaching today, you must be like Yakongo. You must mimic Yakongo so that you will receive the light, thank you, of Yakongo, so that you will shine among the nations. Okay? Oh, sorry, I don't know what's going on. Oops. Sorry. You got a game on. Okay. And so now, as we do this teaching, okay, this is very significant. This is very important. This is something that people don't understand, is why our world struggles. Our world struggles because look who's sitting on top of it. This is why you see war, famine, pestilence, super rich, super poor. You see people fighting all the time. You see drugs, alcoholism. You see all kinds of disillusion. The only way to not see right now, to get him off of the top of the world, is through Bantu spirituality, Ngunza. Ngunza, as Yanat is going to do his teaching on, to get him off of the top of the world where he sits, is going to be us waking up, and this is what they hate. Okay. Okay. So by him sitting on top of this earth, the way he's sitting, okay, he's showing you this is your God. And the secret societies know this, okay? And this is why they don't allow pastors to teach the real truth. This is why they make pastors think that they are teaching the real truth. Because this is spiritism, okay? This is why Yanata and all of us, and Brother Pastor Mellon, everybody came, and even Toko, okay? The reason this is why this happened to him. The people who try to destroy him, of course, and of course we talked about in Masa when he talked about Mayamona, he fulfilled when he did this and got the blood transfusion from other people, he fulfilled the theft of Esau. But this is who was responsible for yanking his heart out. This was the plan, okay? And that's even in Masa's volume 2. This is the one that had the plan to kill him. The dragon, okay, wanted him to die. And he was showing you cannot kill me. Okay, because he has the light in him to show you, I am light. I am from the kingdom of light. I am from the kingdom of the Most High. You know, I love him when, and not to send in his video today, you cannot kill who's already been to hell. What does that mean? You have eternal life, regardless. I mean, no matter what, how you come at a person, you cannot impact what their message is because they sit on the foundation of Isaiah Congo, which is the rock that the builders rejected. The builders, a second, I don't know. Hold on a second. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so now, why is this so significant? Okay, why is this something that is an issue for us today? Because now, you know, let's look at the world as a way. Let's look at how the world is built right now. We have this is a, you know, cities. I can't spell. Let's look at images. Okay, we see all these cities right here. We see all of this kind of stuff like that. Okay, these buildings, as you keep looking at them, do not glorify Tatanzambi. He is not. These are not pleasing to him, especially these type of structures here. You know, these are things that, like he says, they glorify the works of their hands. These are the builders, okay, and they rejected. Second, this is who they rejected, okay, and they know it. The builders rejected. So these builders that build all these cities right here. So when you try to tilt, this is why when you show people this awakening, why they think you lost your mind, why they think you're crazy, because they have been given a system of normalcy. This is the same type of structures that existed during the days of Noah, but they were actually built stronger. Some of them were, because they were bigger people. They made you think that it's all prehistoric and not everything came from evolution to hide these beings, okay, and to create this, the alien deception. So the military is going to be duped into thinking that they're fighting against an invasion similar to what they put in the movies, when this is the terrors coming to kill. This is the terrors collection time. This is the reapers. These are the reapers, okay, that are being sent. There's the spirit of the Nephilim, the spirit of the Anunnaki, these beings that are, you know, fighting each other, like the book of Enoch says, these beings that are at a war, they're using you. I don't know if I can find the picture. Let's see. Um, but there was an image that I put years ago or months ago on something where it was a depiction of ancient Egypt, where a brother put it up and it showed you the gods sitting up top, the leaders being pulled on strings, okay, the people below them being pulled on strings, the wars that were being fought for these beings, and then the people praying on the bottom, okay. So they were basically showing you in this recreation of Egyptian art or Kamata art that this is the world of those who claim to be these are Gentiles. These are their, this is their world. The seed of Cain, the Kadiam Pemba. Okay, why is this? And that's why, you know, it's important for that the Most High says, "I shall send thee a strong delusion for thee to lie." Okay, they're gonna preach this all for the next few years. because they know, and it's ramping up because of our awakening is actually intensifying this. Okay, this is why Obama said what he said. World War III is going to include an alien invasion. It's going to include um, the destruction of a false messiah, because he himself is really an alien. The reason why he said the alien is a false messiah is because he is an Anunnaki. He is Nimrod. Now he's not pictured in. Well, he might be. I think this is him right here, but I'm not sure. Let me see if I can find his face, if it resembles. So, you see this, a lot of people brag about the leopard skin part, which I get it. There's a connection there. But most people don't even know, okay, the leopard skin concept comes from Adama that Nimrod stole through his father, Cam or Ham, Kama, who took the clothes of Adama and put him when he asked, because Adama came out of the water with the leopard skin on, which is connected to what the Zulus wear now, but at the same time, he's faking to be the Symbolism. See, he is now this is your false lion. This is Scar, because he lost his left eye when the crows plucked it out. He called himself the king of the world. Okay, the great hunter. This entity now rules the entire world again through the secret societies, through the religions. Okay. See, he also used to wear the outfit of the Zulus. Okay. Who copied whom? He was also a warrior. And at one point he was actually blessed by Tatanzambi. But then he turned to the fallen gods, his mother and her sisters and brothers that were affiliated through the offspring of the Nephilim. They're actually the offspring of where did they go? They're the offspring of these creatures of the fallen angels. Okay. So the Watchers, let's see if I can find it. Of course not. So you have the Watchers, okay. They looked like the Malekis of the Most High. They came down. Some of them were albino. So they're portrayed, you see here, now that's how I knew this story was backwards, because it was the holy angels that fought the Watchers in that one. So now, so this is important to understand. that these angels or Malakis are now here, and they are going to bring about this so he's one of them, this deception. So now it's imperative to so this is why we are going to be deceived, because these Gentile people, what they have been taught even through Christianity, okay, they don't know what these beings really look like because they hide themselves. That's why you have to become spiritual to actually see them. You have to become spiritual to actually tell the difference. And you have to become spiritual not to fall for this, because this is what's going to happen. They have unlimited access to technology, okay, that's going to portray. That's why you have a false sky right now. And the lady who was in our assembly today talked about the giant beings that were going to and fro afflicting us. This is what's going on. This is what they mocked in the Godzilla versus King Kong movie, when he threw when Congo, the mockery of Congo, he threw the stake at the sky and it shattered the dome to show you, okay, you have these fallen angels sitting on high with Tatanzami, the two kingdoms battling, okay, that we keep fighting from the beginning, that are causing us all these struggles that we wanted to be like, but the Most High was like, this is when you chase your lovers. These fallen angels, the Anunnaki being, these are your lovers. Okay. So that's why it's imperative to understand, okay, that this entity is affiliated with this deception. And I hope my brother will go into a little bit more details. He talked about, if you ever get a chance, go to Mikhail Masa's videos, go back to our Kentwadi lessons. He actually does I think he did it a few weeks ago, but we're going to go and explain to you what that means and how you can. That's why Masa's saying you're now going to see beings that are going to change. When the veils open, you're going to see creatures for what they are, but they have to give you the alien agenda. So you're going to think you're looking at aliens when they're really demons. Okay. And this is when they're going to start saying in Lamilia. Okay, let me close some of these, because close this down a little bit. So of course you got Nimrod lost his left eye. That's why they always, the one who got killed, left eye. That's what she's talking about. She's left eye. Let me hide this again. Now I learned how to do this. Getting better. Okay. Let's go to where it talks about, okay, and we talked about why it's important for knowledge to be the key. Hosea 4. This is what's so uncertain. So we're saying, okay, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. So the Banabetu, the Yisolele, okay, we talked about in the Kentwadi today, the Kephas, but the Kephas, we are a rejected nation because we rejected Tatanzambi's knowledge and we decided to accept the knowledge of these beings. These are the prophets of Baal. These are the prophets of Baal. And that's what he's talking about. We went after the knowledge of this joker, okay? Because we decided that his knowledge was not what we wanted. We wanted his knowledge. So it's the same concept that happened in the garden. because Toko said, and even Kambango and Padi and Maswa said, we were supposed to be a nation, the assembly above the nations. The 7 assemblies that were set up by the Banabetu descendants for the other nations were supposed to bring us back and become one assembly of the world with Yisolele on top. And of course, Christianity says, no, these people rejected it. Now we get to inherit it. And they're like, no, this is a deception. Okay, not them, we. Those of us who had the Tula. That's why we're different than other people. Okay? Because, back to this, sorry. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of Tatanzambi, I will also forget thy children. So this is why you hear Christians and everybody keeps saying, oh, the law's been done away with. The law's been done away with. We're saved by grace and faith, when actually the Most High is saying, a lack of knowledge is what causes you to be separated from him. A lack of knowledge causes you not to have the light. Okay? A lack of knowledge keeps us from being a nation, keeps us from, because we accept the knowledge we're taught in the schools and in the business world and all these different things. We rejected Tatanzambi's knowledge for the world's knowledge. Therefore, if all you are filled with is worldly knowledge, there is no light in you. This is the whole part about what it means to renew yourself spiritually. Okay. We rejected when Moni Congo signed the treaty with Diego Cao. That was a rejection of knowledge. What is X? The X, of course, marks Kuswa Congo. He was acting on behalf of Kuswa Congo, Isaiah Congo. Because at that time we knew him. But we rejected him because we wanted to be like the other nations who happen to have, in our minds, a better way of life, which we were already arguing because of what happened with the slave trade that was going on with those of us who were arguing that went and got sent into the slave trade with the Muslims. Okay. We were still looking at all the other nations surrounding us and wanted to be like them, which I don't know why. But we go into captivity. It doesn't matter how righteous you are. We go into captivity as a nation. That has always been the case. So now, as I made the decree, the Knights Templar, okay, let's go see who they are. Again, these guys, they are in violation. Okay, they could be black, they could be white, doesn't matter. These are the Khazars. I mean, the secret societies. They're the ones that went to Egypt and got all the esoteric knowledge and started doing the different things. You see here, these guys right here are in violation of the treaties. Let me break it down to you. We never stopped being the property of Kamata / Mystery Babylon until 2019. This is what they would keep hidden from even the other citizens of America and people in the world, that you are technically property of the corporations of the countries that exist. That is how they can buy and sell, because you have to be a corporation. But they don't tell them that. They just say, oh, well, my country, tis of thee. Okay. All these things that they want to say, country or forgotten country, all these things they wanted to do. When they say God, this is their God, who can also be who can also be this. Let's see, I get rid of it. This is their God. They know this. This is when he calls in the Revelation 3 and 9, Revelation 2 and 9. This is who these guys work for. So now, do you think they want you to know this? No. They keep it all hidden secret. Look at the cross on his chest. People think this represents the Most High. No, it does not. This is Nimrod's cross. This goes all the way back. I've done a video on that. The same cross of, and then people don't believe me. It's the cross of Tammuz. I'm gonna actually go cross of Babylon. All right, so okay, same thing on his chest. So they're showing you are in Babylon. Let's go to Columbus ships. But see, the gods that they worship, they fly around in their metal chariots. Okay, same symbol. Knights Templar is what he was. Okay, we see here. We are the property. Now, this is when we say Deus, especially when you talk about the people who are in the assemblies. So he says, yet if anyone suffers as a Christian, let him not be ashamed. But look what he says. This is not what you think. Let him glorify God in this matter. But the God that they glorify is not Tatanzambi. It's not the Most High. It's Nimrod. This is the deception because they worship these beings right here. These are their gods. Merged into one, they cut the S off. Okay? So when we went into captivity, we became pagans like them. But they called us pagans and made us believe we were the ones that were worshiping a demonic god. They flipped it. They turned the world upside down. Excuse me. Okay. So now, because they can't tell you that you are the tares, so let's go to that. Tares versus wheat. I always get the scripture off. Let's go. Tares among the wheats. Let's go to Matthew 13. Of course, this is all affiliated with all of the sowing of the seeds because this is what they do. Now, another parable, the kingdom of heaven, which is the Zulu, which is the kingdom of Congo, Ya Congo, which can be in you and around you on earth and in heaven, is likened unto a muntu who sowed good seed in his field. So you're sitting there, you're spreading this good seed, okay? But while men slept, of course, this is the spiritual blindness that we're talking about. His enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat. So you could picture a man who's supposed to be watching the man that's supposed to be watching the field, making sure nothing gets in there, because back in those days, you had to keep goats out, sheep out. You couldn't have them running around in your field because they'll trample your things. So you got men asleep. Well, you get an enemy that doesn't like you. He says, "I'm gonna mess up your crop," and he starts throwing a bunch of tares in there. Okay, I'm gonna mess up your crop. Then all of a sudden you get ready to harvest, and it's like you start to see them growing. Now this is before you harvest. You see them growing, and you're like, you know, wait a minute. So the servants, okay, remember these are the servants that are sleeping, of course. So the servants of the household came and said, "Sir, did not thou sow good seed in your field? From whence have these tares come?" So this guy has servants, and then he has other workers. They weren't paying attention. The servants come and say, "What? That's not corn. That's some kind of other looks like corn, but it's not corn or wheat. It looks like wheat. It's a weed. It's starting to grow." Okay. So then he says no, because if you go in there and you tear the field up, you'll destroy what I'm trying to grow with the bad things. But let them mature fully and become good food, or become like food, good fruit. And those that bring about the bad fruit, get rid of them. That is the difference between serving the kingdom of the Most High and serving the kingdom of Shaitani. The good fruit, okay, are going to be those that do not embrace the world in anything that it has to offer, but walk unto the footsteps, the mimic of the light of the Most High. This is the lie upon people. So this is why it's like, you watch TV, all these things you watch have an impact on you and what goes inside of your mind. If it's not pleasing to the Most High, it's going to darken you. Because see, the Most High is saying, I wouldn't watch that. What are you watching it for? When you're mimicking the Most High, you're supposed to be watching things that are going to edify Him in the body. You're supposed to be engaging in activities that do the same thing. So this is why it was important to create a style of life, of living, that was called the lifestyle of America or other places. The partying mentality, the hanging out with the friends mentality, the gaming mentality, all these different things. Online dating, all this stuff, doing the worldly things that many of us are guilty of even to this day. So that's why we said in today's message is that if there is truly light in you, you're not going to go around certain places where you see a lot of darkness. And for the purpose of participating with it. But if you go into that darkness, it's to bring our brothers into the light, which is what Kuswa was doing. Just go as an example. Okay, that's what the Most High says. You're not going to bring everybody into the light because there's so many people are going to be so far stuck in the darkness. That's why the scripture says, how great is that darkness? Okay, let's revisit Matthew 6, Matthew, like we did in the assembly today. For those who weren't there, you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, he gives you the Father's Prayer, which we like to say in Kikongo and Lingala as well. Now, this is important. We're going to start with verse 19. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon the earth. And when we always talk about when the people came to Congo, it was like they were looking at the gold and everything. And they're like, why is it just sitting on the ground? Why is it? Because it was such an abundance of it, we didn't need to collect it. And the treasure wasn't in the gold on the ground. The treasure was in the Most High's kingdom. We knew that. But these were people who did not conceive that. And they were using this for their benefit. To say, oh yeah, we must have this, oh, we must have that. Well, then where are you laying your treasures at? Okay. This is the curse that with those who are the Knights Templars who were affiliated with the spirit of Esau, who was the foundation of their belief. Okay. And it says, lay not your treasures upon the earth where moth and rust does corrupt and where thieves break through and steal. So the point is, why do you need a police department if you're following this? Okay, if your treasures are truly with you, with the treasures are really with the Most High, then why you need a police department? That's part of our problem here. That doesn't mean the Most High won't allow you. We live in this world, we have things that right now, but our goal is to obtain to become wealthy in the kingdom and set our treasures for our people there. That's why you're supposed to be building up his kingdom the right way and not Satani's kingdom here on earth. Where that's why he's saying the Most High, we setting treasures up in ourselves because the kingdom is inside of you. So I'm saying, if the kingdom is truly inside of you, where is your power? Okay. Lay not up for yourself treasures upon earth where moth and dust corrupt, where thieves break through and steal, but lay up for your treasure in heaven where neither moth nor rust does corrupt and where the thieves do not break through, because the Most High is going to keep your inheritance for you. Nobody's going to touch him. Who's going to go up against him? That's why he says, seek ye first the Most High, because he keeps your treasures. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be. So if you are a person, and I know I'm not going to say I'm not guilty, I have to work on this myself, where you're always looking at what you have and the vision for the visual sense, and you value that, like everybody wants to have, oh man, I got to have the big screen TV with all the big speakers, and I got to have the plush couch, and man, I got to have this nice car and all this different stuff. Okay. Your heart focuses on making sure that these, even hear people call them, oh, these are my babies right here. This is my baby. Nice motorcycle, all these different things. This is carnal minded. This is spirituality. This is not spirituality. This is spiritism. Okay. That's what is happening. You're not going to, and this is what's going to happen to you. The light of the body is the eye. So basically, what is received, this is why they do subliminal messaging, and people don't even know it. It's important. What you absorb through your eyes, okay, goes into your brain and gets processed, that becomes your memory. That memory determines what makes your body function. Okay. And this is where I struggle even in my life. If you engage in things that you see that become memories that are actually harmful to your body, then your body will not function properly and you will get sicknesses. This is why it's important when you watch TV, and I hope that Brother Bayal, I meant to honor him because, you know, I watched another one of his videos. I meant to comment. He's doing a really good job as well. He talks about this all the time, the subliminal messaging that we see. You don't even, they put the, and this is why they put the coding into the shows. This is what makes you addicted to the television. Oh, what's gonna happen next? Oh, what's happening here? Oh, did you see what happened on that show, girl? Oh, this and that. Because what you're doing is you're feeding the spiritual eye the desires of the flesh, not of the spirit. So the Most High looking at you, he's like, that stuff that you watching right there, it doesn't glorify me at all. I'm almost done here. It doesn't glorify me at all. So this is why it's easy for them to program you with what you see on the news, what you see in TV, this whole concept about aliens and all this other stuff that they want to teach, that you actually think you're believing in the true gospels. Okay. Why? To get you to go buy food that's messing your body up. Why? Control. The top people in this world do not care about you, but they pretend. It's all scripted. It's not real. If they truly cared about you, your communities would look way better. But then they'll go and say, because there's too many of us, it's as if they're doing secret, or because too many of us don't get it and we don't act right, that's the problem, that our earth is destroyed because of those who have ignorance when they themselves are ignorant of the truth. Because if you reject the knowledge of Tatanzambi, like our brother said today, you become ignorant of what the light means. You cannot obtain the light of the Most High not having the knowledge of how to receive the body's light. You cannot get to know. That's why we keep trying to tell people, if you know the Father, you already know the Son. So he will know you. But how the Father doesn't know you if you're doing things that don't bring light into your body. His light. He is the source of the light that you need to be inside of you to shine and not hide it under the bushel. We're not going to hide it if we're shining. Okay. Now, this is where Kefa said, this is where the Kadiam Pemba's translation. If thine eye be healthy, not single, okay, the whole body shall be full of light. So basically, the point is that if you're abstaining from the things that do not feed the spirit, the Mwandan Semi, now your spirituality will start to grow and you will start to see, wow, and things will be revealed to you, and you stay away from the things that are bringing darkness into your body, you will shine. Okay, this is why they made a world full of things and entertainment and desires. Those desires feed the flesh, not the spirit. The spirit doesn't need that, but the demons that occupy you, they do. They feed off of that. That's why they do it. That's why you have to cast them out. That's why the Most High said you cannot cast out Satan if you're full of darkness. Because Satan cannot cast out Satan. And darkness is the kingdom that you stand in today, because everything you see out around you right now is Shaitani's kingdom, because his kingdom mimics the Most High's, but it looks worse. Not even close. That's why it looks all jacked up. But they try to make it all shiny with their nice skyscrapers and da-da-da. And the cool cars and all. No. And the nice highways. They can't match what the Most High can do. Ever. Okay? That's why it says, but if thine eye be evil, and see, if you're walking according to the flesh, your eye is not going to be light. If you're worshiping false gods, your eye is going to be dark. If you're catering to false teachers or false prophets or false, if you're falling for the angel who is pretending to be an angel, you're not going to have the light. So, but it says, but if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. And if therefore the light in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? This is why you can literally, when you start coming into the truth of the Most High, you will start to see the demons walking around inside of people. Because the negativity that they are demonstrating will start to resonate. Because when you become full of light, it's like, wow, that person really looks wicked. People think with all the tattoos, man, I was showing this, I was telling this guy I was talking to earlier, I encountered a dude that was fully tatted up. Now that I walk in the truth in the spirit. And you can kind of tell, you can sense those type of people that worship Satan. Literally worship Satan. And I'm not trying to, point him out, or, he was a nice guy and everything. He tried to be, but he was like, I got to get you away from me, because he was trying to rush. And I know I had to get somewhere. He was rushing the guy, but you can kind of tell he was like, man, this guy got to go. I got to get it. He's standing here. You can't, like Master said, they can't be around you. I was sitting there talking to a guy on the phone. The guy was reading his book. He got up, he walked out. Why? Because demons don't want to hear you talking about the truth. Demons don't want to hear that. Okay? Demons don't want to see you coming to tell anybody any of this stuff. That's why it's important that when you're talking about Christianity and people who are in it that don't know they're being deceived, they'll cut you off. You don't know what you're talking about. Shut up! You're lying to me. You're deceived. Satan's inside of you. But when you look at them, it's like, I don't see how you have no light when I look at you. So what are you talking about? When I ask you questions about knowledge you're supposed to have, that's why the Most High said, oh, I know Jesus and Jesus knows me, and that's all I need to know. I have faith. And the Bible is full of scriptures where it says a lack of knowledge is what destroys your relationship with the Most High, a lack of knowledge of the truth. You can have all the faith in the world, but faith in what? What knowledge of the faith in the knowledge of what? That's the issue. That's why preachers got to put on a good show and they got to do their best to try to say that they think they know. And I studied theology, which the word theology is man-made. Does it even come from the Most High? Like, that's the study of theism, gods, specifically one God that you think is the Most High, when it literally says in scripture, he knows himself better than anybody. So how can a professor that you have, or how can a teacher sit you and teach you about God? I can't teach you about the Most High. I can only show you that you need to actually go to the Most High and he will validate the things that I'm saying. I don't expect you to listen to me at all. You need to identify for yourself, okay, the discernment. Is the Most High using me? Or is it just make-believe? Because see, the world is not teaching you a lot of these connections because they don't want you to see that you really serve demons in hidden places. This is why the world is a mess. It's not because of the people, it's because of who's running the show and who is not doing their job as the people of light, which is who we are. Because we wanted to be like the children of darkness. Okay? This is the deception upon the bounty. That's why he says, no man can serve two masters. What does that mean? Who are the two masters? We should know that. The problem is, one of those masters is pretending to be the good master. You don't even know it. So what he says, you either have, so the one master represents the world itself. That many Christians say, I was in the world. No, you're still in the world. When you're dealing with Babylon, you're in the world. If you don't separate from the harlot, you're in the world. If you don't separate from the other deities that you don't even know, if you don't come out of the paganism of the stuff that you're practicing, you're in the world. If you're believing in the stuff that comes through Rome, and even many things that are taught by the Orthodox churches, they're still pagan. Some of the stuff they're doing, no graven images, period. He said that. They do that because they have to have that symbolism because they're used to what they have done when it comes to the fact that they're Gentiles. They worship paganism. They were never going to just stop it just because the Most High made us jealous. The intent was for them to stop, but they didn't. They just incorporated it. Okay? Just because everybody's walking around carrying a cross doesn't mean the Most High is cool with it. No graven images. Why see all these graven images? Because you learn that from tradition of men. The tradition of men is to make crosses, not the Most High. Hallelujah. For he says, either you will hate the one and love the other, or else you will hold to the one and despise the other. So the Most High said, if you're going to be the children of light, you must despise and have hatred for everything that is worldly. Everything. You must have no desire for it. Anything that the kingdom of Shaitani has to offer you, you need to reject it. Period. That's why he's saying you cannot serve Tatanzambi, you cannot serve Yakongo and also Shaitani. That is what makes you lukewarm. In the book of Revelation, the same thing. He spit you out of his mouth. He can't do it. So then you're not talking to him. If you're serving both him and Mammon, then he's not going to hear you. But Mammon will. who can pretend to be like the Most High, the angel, and no marvel, for Satan himself transforms himself into an angel of light. Isaiah 14, I shall be like the Most High. Well, if he's going to be like the Most High, he can mimic things of the Most High, but he cannot raise the dead because he is dead. He can be a demon that never died, which can happen. This is why when Toko came and he was doing legitimate things that of the Messiah, where he did the things he did and more, and was showing the true truth, he was arrested several times. He was attempted to be killed several times. He was hated by the establishment order of the Angolan government, who didn't even understand that this man was helping you get to the kingdom of the Most High in spirit and in truth. He wasn't one of these people that's coming to take advantage of your good nature and your wealth, putting it in their pockets, padding their checkbooks, okay, working for the prostitute, the harlot, who has sold herself to many nations. They even mock it when they do their rituals with the open legs. Okay. Everybody gets a taste of Satan's bride. This was, and just to give you an example, this was one of the rituals of pirates when they got married. The crew gets to have sex with his wife, with my wife too. We share everything. That mentality exists today. You can, in the higher upper echelons, they don't show it to you, but they go and say, okay, I share my wife with you. You can have this. This is the brotherhood. They're not going to tell you that, though. They have to keep it hidden because they're walking in darkness. And that person's darkness is transmitting to you when they stand there trying to teach the Creator's word. This is why we have to watch our steps. Always. Okay. All right. So this is going to be the beginning of the series that I'm talking about. As more things start to happen, we'll start to enlighten you and keep you aware. Pay close attention to what you now see in the skies. Some of it may be the Most High, and others could be Shaitani's deception. I know what's going to happen this Thursday is something that is meant to also be a delusion. Don't be surprised. Because we are now here at that point that they realize it's over. And they're going to take as many of us with them as they can. With the exposure, the two masters part. The master who we have been serving in secret is trying to yank as many over with him as possible, because we have been deceived by the whole world. Because Satan has deceived the whole world. Hallelujah. And this is significant. Okay. So I want to say, Kintwari family, Sambulolo, may Tatanzambi continue to carry and be with you. Do not fall for this is what's coming. Let me go to second. We know this very well. Let's go to 2 Thessalonians. I don't understand why it does this. Let's go to chapter 2. Let's go to chapter 2. So now let me go down to, this is when we talk about how bright, or the light that you will see in the sky, which will be incorporated with Yisolele together as children of light. it says, for the mysteries of iniquity doth work, or has already worked. So he's talking about sins. This is what's been happening even for the past 2,000 years. Okay, only he who now will let, only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. He's talking about the removal of Shaitani. See, he's talking about the Most High saying, for the mystery of iniquity that already worked, only he who now letteth, which is when he's saying Tatanzambi lets this stuff happen, he will continue to allow it until Shaitani is removed and he puts the seal on him and he's going to be destroyed. Okay? Then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Tatanzami shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. That spirit's going to be on all of us. Okay? And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Very bright. Boom. Consume him. Even him whose coming is after even the working of Shaitani with all power and signs and lying wonders, which includes the deception of the way you see the earth today. Shaitani is faking a lot of things that you think are real but are false, because we're living in his kingdom right now, where he's showing you lying signs and wonders and teaching you lying signs and wonders to those who serve him. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness, everything you see in this world under Babylon system, under this system, is unrighteous. And those who are in it are going to perish. That's why he says, come out of her, my people. If you don't come out of her, you will perish. You will experience the plagues. You will be destroyed, because they receive not the love of the truth, which the truth we know is Congo, that they might be saved. So the Bena Congo have to be in love that they might be saved. For this cause, Tatanzambi shall send them a strong delusion, right here, that they should believe a lie. This is the harvest of the tares in the wheat, people. This is not an alien invasion. Whereunto he called you by our gospel, the Banabetu gospel, Yisolele gospel, Kuswakongo gospel, not to teach you another Jesus gospel, to the obtaining of the glory of our Mfumu Yisu Kristo, Isaiah Congo, Kuswa Congo. That's the way Yeswe Hamasia, the Bantu names, the Chuluba. Therefore, brethren, stand fast and hold the traditions that you have been taught. This is your knowledge again. What the disciples in Abafundi actually taught, we have to relearn, because the Vatican and other nations have erased these traditions. Do you even know what they are? What did they really teach? Are you going to believe what their so-called or not, but synagogue tell you? Or are you going to listen to the Moan Semi? The Moan Semi and the Unkulu Kulu, our ancestry that knows what they were teaching, even like even the other churches have forgotten, like the Coptic. They're still not practicing all of these traditions, right? What are they? Now, Mfumu Yesu Kristo, Yesaya Kongo himself, and Tatanzambi, even our Tata, which has loved us and has given us everlasting. See, he has loved the Buntu, the Banabetu, has been giving us everlasting consolation and good hope through grace. Comfort your hearts and establish you in every good word and work. Good word and work means that which is pleasing to Yakongo, Akongo, to Tatanzambi. This is why you get people that walk around you in this place. They think they're doing the good work. How can you be doing the good work when the society hasn't changed? Everything gets worse from decade to decade. Why is that? If there's so many, there's 2 billion Christians on this earth. If they're supposedly doing the good work, then what is wrong with this planet right now? What are they doing? Most of them are only catering to their own needs and families. They do the work of their own local church. There's over 100 churches where I live. 100, and not one. I've never seen them combine to fix anything. Why the city still looks as bad as it ever did? Worshiping supposedly the same Jesus, but working independently of each other. The same God of the Bible, supposedly the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And look at the society that we live in. Drugs are running rampant. All these different things, gun violence, all this stuff. That is the illusion. You need crime to keep the cops employed. Where does that Most High say that's okay with that? He said you shouldn't be wanting to encourage that. The jail people want to make their money because they make money off of putting you behind bars. What kind of system is that? We got to pay the judges that put you in jail. If you're running a society that's based off of the true teachings of the Most High, you shouldn't need a judge. You got way too many demons running around just tearing people up. They're tearing up people's lives. And most of them don't even see it. You can get that. All right, family. Matonde Masaka Jila. Hopefully the next time you'll see me will be with my brother. We'll go into a little bit more detail. We'll even go from the Bantu's perspective, the African side, where he grew up, and the things that he'll show you where we have been separated from our heritage because of the Unkulu, because of the Kadiam Pemba or the Bongo or the Ngoy, the strangers, how we have been turned outside and how the Tatanzami make us the tail and what we have been forced to believe in because of that, okay? So Betwabu, Vuvamo, and may Yakongo reign in Gita.